So Nemiga will go for a Rubik, which
so double
for now
supports.
doesn't seem like doesn't seem like that good of a pick to me. I have to say.
I think what we're looking at Rubik here is a telekinesis shard lift save.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
Maybe
you
that's
don't
the
have a
idea.
save in your team at all, so Rubik with telekinesis and the shard at least provides some manner of protection against the X mark and the arrow. Even if you get arrowed, you can still move them to safety, but there's also a slight chance that you're able to disjoint. The arrow doesn't connect if you're able to squeeze it in between. That just makes it a tiny bit harder for the Marana, though you're still going to land your arrows at the same time as the Conker lands the X mark, so it's just down to the Conker to play. Still, as you said, not too many great spells to steal, not the most perfect Rubik game, so very interesting pick as a whole. But it definitely did put HYDRA thinking, because they're running out of time here, and they will decide to go for the Faceless Void. So even if
Which
you
is a
steal
beautiful hero
Chronosphere,
here.
which is like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful hero here because of the time dilation, right? You only have it level 1, but still all of these heroes, they're spammers. Especially the Timbersaw, he'll have to go for an early Lotus, Yules, whatever he wants to. You have another setup for the Arrow, which is going to be the Chrono. The problem I see for HYDRA is their damage output is very low, so it wouldn't surprise me if they put the Kunkka into the off lane in this one and get something like a Queen of Pain, like a Storm Spirit, something that does massive amounts of damage, because you need to punish the slow supports. Also, on another note, Rubik now, he does have the Time Walk, so that's going to be a solid spell for him. But another reason I don't like the Rubik is if the Timbersaw, let's say, is laning in the off lane, which doesn't have to be the case right now, right? But if he's laning there, you want to have a mobile hero that can actually help the other lanes, like the Mirana, like the Earth Spirit, right? Those are the kind of heroes that you want to combo with this guy, because he doesn't need help in the lane. The Rubik, where is he gonna rotate really? Towards the, let's say, the Beastmasters in the mid, Beastmaster and the Rubik, they're not killing anyone. He might be able to rotate to the safe lane, but still not really that killer that you're looking for. So those are also the reasons I'm not really fond of this Rubik pick. And sure, now he's at least gonna have the constant spell to jump around from the Faceless Void. So at least something going in the in favor of Nemiga when it comes to this Rubik pick.
Well, we are going to see the Mars and the LC both, man. We discussed about the LC save opportunity a bit earlier on, and now with the Mars too, Nemiga is not happy with letting the Mars through. You talked about the magical damage, which can definitely be a bit of a nuisance too if you add it with the Faceless Void, because then you have two big teamfight ultis, and you don't know which one's going to be coming out first. They're going to get rid of the Medusa. One of the more harder targets here for HYDRA to kill. Very difficult, because you don't actually have anyone to take it out. You say Wraith King?
Wraith King is in the pool, yep. It looks pretty solid to me here.
Well, at least for Nemiga, I feel like it could actually fits in pretty nicely. Able to soak up that initial initiation from HYDRA. Makes it a bit harder for the Faceless Void as well to think about his chrono placements and how important of a role he's going to be playing too. And overall, I feel like if they just put this Beastmaster technically into the offlane, because this is the big question here. Aincrad plays both of these heroes. Chosen One plays both of these heroes. They could still flex in whatever manner they want to. So what does Nemiga end up going with? The Wraith King. You said it. You're the man. You knew exactly where we're going here, hairy freak. And what do you answer this with?
Tears. I don't know. This is looking pretty tough for HYDRA. I'm gonna come back to the Rubik pick now. I might have an idea why they picked it. They were maybe afraid of the Sand King coming in, because HYDRA, they need a lot of magic damage, right? And if they would, if there's a perfect hero to combo with the Mirana, it would be the Sand King and the Rubik. He loves playing against him. Ooh, the Batrider. Actually, that's a good one. The thing is though, everything is on this Batrider. Aincrad will be laning with Beastmaster, and actually now HYDRA, they have found a crack in Nemiga's defenses, considering that they can't gank this Batrider early on. They can't find him. You need to bring multiple heroes. You need to use the Roar to be able to kill this guy. I'm actually loving this one for HYDRA. Is it going to be good enough to win the game? I kind of feel like he really needs to get off on a good start, and Nemiga are going to know about this. So as soon as they get the Roar, we might be seeing the supports, maybe even before that, just storming down the mid lane. So I'm liking this one for HYDRA. But Ascol has put an X on his back right now, and he's definitely going to be hunted in this one.
He does, and I'm also looking at Ascald's stats. I haven't looked at his pop games, but he's only played one official game in the last month on this Batrider. It was a win for him, but still only one statistic there. So is he feeling this hero? What can he prove to show here? His laning matchup against the Beastmaster, a whole different laning matchup as well. Beastmaster versus the Batrider. So it will be interesting to keep an eye open on that one. Most likely we'll be looking at that mid matchup very heavily between these two heroes. We do have the Timbersaw going up against the Faceless Void and Wraith King versus the Kunkka. So Blizzy playing the offlane Kunkka, not feeling the Magnus from last game, wants to play it a little bit differently. Has a strong lane with the Mirana. I'm still kind of optimizing on that 3-map game. So I'm going to say HYDRA. We're going to see a tie in this one, at least based on the draft.
The reason I'm gonna be going for Nemiga here is because I think that the Batrider might be good for this game, but level 2 boars, just as the Batrider wants to fight when he wants to fly over you, that's level 3, 2 points in Sticky Napalm. You don't have the movement speed to get over the Beastmaster because of the boars. And that's a big problem. Sometimes let's say you would see a Batrider versus an Ursa in the mid lane. You go for him, the Ursa jumps behind, he slows you, and you can't get over him. Suddenly you're not doing the damage. So I kind of feel like this Mirana for me is going to be the X factor if he can get a few arrows in the mid lane, if he can set up a few things for the Batrider. But I think the Nemiga are aware. The way we lose this game is if a Batrider just goes out of control, and you just need to not fight him when you are not 100% certain you're bringing him from 100 to 0 and you actually have the tools to do so. Again, HYDRA, they have some saves, the boat, the Hand of God, but if the Batrider gets roared, there is more than enough damage here on the side of Nemiga if they bring enough heroes to finish him off. So I'm gonna be going for Nemiga. I'm hoping for a game 3 like you, so let's hope I'm wrong and you're right, so that we go into game 3 in the series as well.
Most importantly, what we want to see is entertaining Dota, no matter what the scoreline is going to be. If it's a 2-0, if it's a 1-1 and go all the way to 3 maps. We did have a very passive early game. 10 minutes for the first blood in the first match, which took us a long time, and then we slowly started building in this game all the way to Nemiga's favor, step by step by step. So now I want to see some brawling, I want to see some blood, I want to see some, we've called about the fresh meat for a little bit. Let's see if that's the case though. Sayat's on the low ground. He's got his wards placed down, and Nemiga's chosen one will be spotted, so that also diffuses this situation. They will find the wards. Do they get rid of theirs? Yeah.
Well, yeah, they will. So, are we having a prediction moment? When are we gonna be getting a first blood?
30 seconds.
Are we doing
actually, a good idea, actually. Before you say it, Twitch chat, if you're there, our lovely audience, write in chat your suspected time, minutes and seconds. Hopefully it doesn't go through actually, hopefully it does go through Moobot, because usually they're looking at, oh, that's a spoiler score. But give your predictions for First Blood. And Harry Freak, go ahead.
Let me see. So it's gonna be...
Fast.
I'd say 7 minutes into the game.
Okay, I'm gonna say 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if that takes place or not. Our game starts now. Bounties 2-4-2. Tit for tat. And get our lanes rolling out. So what we want to really pay attention to is this mid lane. So let's start off with Aincrad versus Askel. Batrider versus the Beastmaster. I love when it's the year 2021 and we see unique mid matchups, because you don't really get to see this too often.
Yeah, you don't. But you know what's really weird is that Rubik just placed a ward under the vision of the sentry that was definitely going to come out from Zayats. He thought that once he denies that one and places a ward, that it's not going to get spotted. But now there's going to be a nice and easy ward for the Batrider to take. Will it really change the mid lane matchup? Not really, but a very weird mistake coming out from the position 4 of Nemiga.
Yep, a happy support to get some extra gold, or free gold in this case. So he definitely sees it in his vision. Yeah, it's highlighted on the edge of the stairs. 4-7, so at least the first 2 creep waves going for the Beastmaster. 1 missed last hit. For Askel, that's 2. Well, one of them being denied.
Interesting, he's not going for the Call of the Wild. So he doesn't want to slow the Batrider with the boars, but he wants to keep him low by spamming the Wild Axes, considering he has the magic one. That might be a possibility. Asgold going for a kill. He's level 2, he's not going to be killing him. You don't do it. He has just made a big mistake in my mind, because Firefly now, 45 seconds, Aincrad can do whatever he wants.
Pretty much, yeah. And he also even throws some axes in his back too, so that will cause some difficulties. He's gonna go for the ward now. And fun fact, since he left that observer ward there for a little bit longer, which didn't provide any extra vision, he got 7 extra gold for it. So it's not 100, it's 107. Profit.
Yeah, that's definitely a big difference. It will make a difference in this game. But this Chen Zayat is gonna be so rich that he might leave Dota right now and
yeah, I mean,
enjoy life.
We can say at the end of the game, the big difference between his GPM and his opponent's GPM was because of that 7 gold picked up, because he's got banker knowledge.
So I think mid lane is still gonna be quite interesting to see here, but I think we can focus on the other lanes as well, because Mirana and the Kunkka at some point, once Blizzy gets an X, we could be seeing an attempt onto Jakiro's life. Vanskar is actually pretty low, and it wouldn't surprise me if they would attempt to kill him. And Kiritish, I'm liking that he finally we see a Ring of Protection on the Wraith King. This hero just has such low armor, and you double it with the Ring of Protection.
Yeah, good pickup. Obviously, one piece towards a Soul Ring as well on this Wraith King. So we talked about the Soul Ring Slark a little while ago, which was very baffling and very cool. It's obviously been around, like we talked about the old times of Dota when people used to build it, and now it's kind of making a comeback, which is nice. Now we see the Soul Ring on the Wraith King, so that will ensure you to get that reincarnation even if you're at 1 HP. So there's that. Plus you get to use your spirits more often, or your skeletons more often, that is, because this mono region is pretty poor.
Yep. And also, I want to go back to the top lane. We see Heaven on the Rubik really struggling. He is level 1. You want to give everything to the Timber Saw, but then what do you do with the Rubik? I kind of feel like this Beastmaster maybe decides to go for a jungle at some point when he's afraid that the Batrider might kill him, and that might be the idea for Nemiga, because this Rubik, he just can't find a place in this game. Yes, you are stacking, but you don't really have that good of a stack clear mechanism right now on the side of Nemiga.
At least he doesn't get XP, but he's gonna get a lot of money for these stacks if they are cleared by his team, given that is the case. So he can get his Blink Dagger pretty well too.
And, this Kunkka Blizzy is farming super well. The Kunkka has 2 bracers. He is not taking any damage here, and Kiritish, even with the Ring of Protection, this Tidebringer is hurting him, and now we're gonna be seeing an X into him. Oh, they don't have an arrow.
No arrow, just right click. Still might do the trick though. Wraith King very low, and the Star Storm does the trick. And it was 4 minutes and 39 seconds, so whoever guessed that, congratulations on a successful bet.
That is gonna give you absolutely nothing, and
Exactly.
Vanskor is dead here as well.
You can watch while Blizzy gets the kill on Vanskor with the arrow from Muka and a Tidebringer from Blizzy. That's actually quite a lot of damage from very long range too, so and he's picked up his urn. That's most important. But sadly, he didn't have it for that kill because it was coming on the courier. If he was there with the urn to get that kill, he would have had 2 urn charges to go with.
Yeah, if he had gotten those, it would have been disastrous. At least this way, Muka will have to walk to the base, so at least the Wraith King will have some breathing room on the bottom lane. But the thing is, as soon as the Mirana comes back, Blizzy will be getting closer and closer to his level 6, and Kiritish is not gonna have it at the same time. So a X into a boat could be enough to finish off the Wraith King again, and this Wraith King might be forced out to the lane a little bit earlier than he would actually like it for it to happen.
Yule's Timber Saw with the Soul Ring, so he's got himself a save, a way to dodge arrow, also a way to keep the Bat Rider in place if he lassos an ally, because Timber's going to be very mobile too, and a way to dispel napalm charges. Or stacks.
I think, as we talked in the beginning, the Faceless Void time dilation will be a big thing.
Yeah. Keep going.
He's not gonna use it. Yeah, so I think that Timber Saw, he has multiple reasons for Yules in this one, and we might actually see even a Lotus Orb come out, because his teammates need that help as well, and he's the hero that should be building it. So it wouldn't surprise me if Chosen One has 2 ways of dispelling in this one. And now, with the Timber Saw being level 6, finally he's gonna start putting a little bit more pressure to Dream on top. I'm curious to see if HYDRA will be rotating there, or do they allow him to suffer a bit.
Well, taking some beating here, at least from the Timber Saw, but with just the help of 2 spells, Green looks to be okay. I will keep an eye open on this bot lane, which is starting to look like a dead lane for the Wraith King, so this tower is now on a clock for HYDRA to take it down. Now, clearing stacks is Ascol.
And we can see Nemiga, they understand what HYDRA want to do. They're not giving them that many kills, but they're still losing so much ground. And the only place that they're actually being aggressive is on the top lane with Chosen One. And it seems like Ascol, doesn't want to rotate just yet, at least before the Boots of Travel. That's not going to be happening.
Interesting play here from bottom. He actually tanks the arrow and keeps Van Score alive. So now Blizzy's all alone. He's surrounded by enemies from all directions. Wraith Fire Blast with the slow. Tries to go for the TP out, but hello, there's Van Score with an Ice Path. That should be kill number 1 for Nemiga.
Yep, they understood that the bottom lane tower defense is more important than the top lane tower, considering that the top lane will get pushed up by the Wraith King at some point. The skeletons will just randomly take it when HYDRA isn't paying attention. So the Timber Saw, he wanted to defend this one. They know they have to take it a bit easier until they have more levels on their supports and are able to bring down the Batrider. That is the hero that you want to be hunting, but for now you can't do it. So it's all gonna rely on Nemiga playing around this Timber Saw, and when HYDRA see a Timber Saw, they just bail and go somewhere else, unless Ascol actually decides that it's time to finish this annoying guy off.
3 kills in 8 minutes. That's more than we had in game number 1. Mika also rotating around with a DD rune on this Mirana. Very high right-click damage too. Just wants to potentially stick around here. Okay. Quick creep with the arrow. He's also now pushing in the lane. Medallion face boots for Konka. So we are looking at a potential Solar Crest buff here for the Faceless Void. And it's following the kind of pattern that Nemiga were doing in game number 1, where they were all ready to buff and save the IO/Gyro buffer.
It's a weird one, I have to say. I haven't seen it for some time, and now Ascol will finally be rotating to Chosen One. Even the arrow connects, and this might be a kill.
I don't think so. This is gonna be a kill. This is very hard. Okay, I'll take my words back, because they did have the lasso in the end. Without that, it would not have been, because that Timber is so hard to kill. But they do have the magical damage for it, so it pays off. And very important that they get the first kill on this Timber Saw inside the first 15 minutes, because usually after 15 is like, okay, we should start looking at this first kill on the Timber, because that's where you have the potential of shutting his game down. He won't be able to push after that. He's going to be very scared. Put resources on a very high potential kill who has a lot of net worth on it, so it's also worth a lot of money. So happy they get the kill.
Yeah, and they opened up the tower, and that's you killed the strongest hero in Nemiga, the only one that can fight. And I think now the problem in their draft again, it's gonna come down to this Rubik that can't really do anything, right? The Mirana, she's gonna be comboing with everyone. Now when they want to use the Chrono with the arrow, they definitely can. And the Rubik, he just doesn't have a place in this game. He's just trying to get some levels and farm, and that is a problem. Let's say if you had a magic damage dealing position 4, like the Mirana, like the Dark Willow, you could be hunting for this Batrider. But Nemiga, they can't do the only thing that they need to do in this one, and that is shut down the Bat, who is working towards his BKB. Now even has the Windlace, so it'll be even more formidable.
Rubik has stolen Sacred Arrow, so let's see what Rubik's marksmanship skills are like. These Mirana's good at shooting creeps. What does Heaven want to do? He's got some very good magical burst, though. He's thinking about using it, and also he has that instant cast arrow too, so he could go for like a telekinesis arrow play. Oh, gets a catapult. This Rubik's going to start picking up XP and money pretty fast now.
That's a big one. I think that Mirana really has to be careful in this game, giving the arrow to the Rubik. You're kind of giving Nemiga the only thing that they have to go for kills, and that's roar into arrow, right? So, in my mind, that's a bit of a mistake coming out from Yuka. So, now I would really want to see Nemiga go for a smoke and attempt to kill this Batrider, because he has been given way too much, and there it is.
So, let's see what they can do. Now, Nemiga can use that roar into arrow combo by themselves. They see Dream. That's stun number 1, stun number 2, stun number 3. Good night, sir. That's an easy picking for Nemiga.
Yeah, an easy one, though the Faceless Void, probably, usually you would like to destroy the Space Creator in the mid game, right? The Faceless Void, he did go for a Midas, he will be getting tons of farm. It's you're not gonna stop him from getting a lot, but still, he is the last in terms of net worth. Mid lane, just a second. Okay,
yeah, I was looking at that. There's a Chen army prepared to go. I love the ghost though. Minus 25% movement slow is pretty obnoxious. And you have a double stun plus the Mirana arrow. You have stuns for like almost 10 seconds in worth for HYDRA.
They're even bringing the Faceless Void to the mid lane. They definitely want to open up this map, but the top lane has gold.
You see just the bait because Asgold is making a kill here on Vanscore. They're thinking about going onto this Timbersaw in mid. They don't ever go on the Chosen One though. There's the Torrent. Nemiga doesn't go for it, so that's just going to be a kill for HYDRA. That's it.
Yeah, they get a nice easy pick off there from Asgold, getting him even closer to the BKB. The Kunkka finished off his medallion, and the Solar Crest will be done as well, which, as I said, it's a little bit weird to me, considering that the Faceless Void really won't be fighting that early arrow.
Yeah, he did get the Torrent out in time before the arrow actually connected from heaven. That was not the Nemiga arrow we're talking about. Tries to catch somebody, but they're going to slip from this Jakira's Ice Path. So that's going to be a kill on the Rubik, and no more arrow available. Nemiga going for a bit of a wraparound here from the side. Maybe he'll find someone in the jungle. Van scores around the area. Nope, doesn't look like it.
I'm trying to understand this Kunkka Solar Crest pickup. Yes, it is going to buff up your Faceless Void, but the Dream, I don't really see him fighting anytime soon, so you definitely could have gotten something else first, like a BKB, let's say, or even a halberd, something along those lines, something that's gonna help you push. The Solar Crest for now, it is gonna help him push out the waves, but I don't see how it fits with his lineup. And HYDRA, they'll go for a smoke, and I actually like this one, considering that Muka and Blizzy, they need to be getting a ton of pickups with this combo, and in the top lane, for now, it doesn't seem like they're gonna be finding anyone.
Well, only 7 kills so far. Now looking for potentially more. Nemiga going for a smoke, as HYDRA's also smoking up with 2. Though they're on the top half of the map. And there's the Chen army right on top of this Rubik. So they're locating where Zayats is. And Dream is also there. Chen is fending off any potential invaders. And there comes Heaven. Goes with the toss into the Ice Path. That works. MLS is applied down to the ground too. Heritage is thrown into the air though by Blizzy. And here comes Asgold. Wants to burn down this Wraith King. Napalm stacks being applied. Heavy damage onto the Rubik too. Nice chrono onto the backline from Dream. Will be able to get this kill onto Heaven. Should be able to. And finally gets it with the help of the boat from Blizzy. A couple stuns onto Vanscore and HYDRA. They find themselves 2, maybe even 3, as Wraith King has died for the first time and for the second. Make it 3 for HYDRA.
This was a little bit greedy coming out from Nemiga, wanting the Void there, wanting more, not going for the Chen immediately, and because of it, HYDRA, they got their time to come together, and now this game is looking really tough for Nemiga. Yes, they do have some counters to the enemies, but the problem is this bat is going to be having a BKB, and how do you kill him if you don't lift him up and roar him before he uses that one? Asgold is going to be surviving, and the amount of damage he can do, well, we already witnessed it in this game. Every single hero on the side of Nemiga is gonna be burned to a crisp. So HYDRA, really nice movements here on the map, but still Nemiga with a little bit of a greed there. They give HYDRA a bit more than HYDRA themselves were hoping for.
Still stacking up in mid. We're seeing some X-Mark plays from Blizzy, trying to clear out this creep wave. Rubik has stolen X-Mark. What can they do with that X-Mark, by the way? Ice Path? Roar? Ice Path technically works with X-Mark.
The thing is, you don't have where to use it. The mid lane is not that easy to attack right now, just because the tower is still standing. The X-Mark into X-Mark has this weird interaction where the second X-Mark doesn't do anything. I don't know if they fixed that one, but I don't think so. So even if the Kunkka is X'd, you use your X on him, he's just gonna return to his own, and yours is gonna be cancelled out. So it's not really the best spell on the bottom lane. Chosen One will try to force heroes there, and I think this is best bet for Nemiga. Try to force heroes to the bottom lane to focus on the Timbersaw while you get more farm and punish anyone greedy on the side of HYDRA that is going to be on the top lane. The Muka, this Mirana is not that easily caught, and he even has the Spirit Vessel, all of the items coming together for HYDRA. And if we come back to the Kunkka, now he's going for a Lotus Orb, and that is the item that I actually like.
And he's gonna get roared too. He needs to survive this, needs to get the Rum buff out, but he's not given the opportunity for it. and just controlled from 100% to 0. They secure the kill on this Kanka HYDRA. You have to hold on their side of the map, though. Unfortunate for Nemiga is they can't push an objective with this because there's no creep wave to push. Chosen One still wants to cross the river. He wants to be the true alpha male here and just show him around. I'm the guy who doesn't... I'm not afraid of you. And they actually get a little bit of a push going on. Glyph has been used to HYDRA, setting up for a potential wraparound here. Looking for an opportunity onto the Timbersaw. Chrono is available. They get the first stun. Arrow comes through, combines with the Centaur Conqueror, but they can see there's no damage. Nice Ice Path from Vanscore prevents this Void from using his Chrono. It's not enough for a kill in the Void, but most importantly, 2 heroes did not get Chronosphered because of that Vanscore Ice Path. Nicely timed. Still going for it. Lasso, they've got the Chosen One, and the Timbersaw is gonna fall. And that's 1 for HYDRA. Now they can keep on moving towards mid. Sadly, there's no tower to push, but a kill is a kill, nevertheless.
Yep, and it's a pretty big one. I kind of thought that Nemiga, when they killed the Kunkka, saw the TP from the Pathfinder to top lane, that they were gonna be playing more aggressive. And they took like 10-15 seconds there of hesitation, and because of that, they couldn't go for more. But now they will get the Chen in the middle. Ooh, the missed arrow.
The missed X-Mark arrow combo doesn't go through, and Rubik's stolen Time Walk now, so he's moving back to safety. He's got a Spirit Vessel ticking on him. He does go all the way back home.
So as I was saying there, Rubik had the X mark, right? So once they killed the Kunkka, that's the frontliner gone for HYDRA. You go in, you'll go in like madman, get multiple kills, and try to force down the towers, or at least you decrease the lead by getting kills. But they decide to take it a little bit easier. Then Chosen One kind of takes the charge, as you said, being the alpha male, but he didn't really choose the right timing, and because of it, they get punished. So HYDRA, they won't really lose much from that Kunkka kill, and now finally the Bat has a BKB, and now it's scary territory for Nemiga.
Exactly. There's a time and place for everything, and talking about times and places, today is the Independence Day of Finland, which we are celebrating here on the 6th of December. So it is an important day for us, spending the day casting, watching some great Dota, but still a very important date for us. Just wanted to say that.
Congratulations on your independence.
Thank you, thank you. I didn't fight in it, but we fought hard for it. At least we can make Finland proud. Vanscore hiding with a Shadow Amulet on the high ground. We've seen supports do this quite a lot in Ascult. Well, he's found him. He's just gonna TP out though. No vision.
Nicely done there by Vanscore, understanding that he can get out, and HYDRA being a bit too greedy. Now we see that moves on the onto the enemy triangle, onto the enemy offlane, don't always give you that much. Nemiga, they might have made it work in the previous one, but the HYDRA in this second game, they won't be able to do it. And now they're going for a smoke. They know that HYDRA need to get themselves back up into position, and maybe they can catch someone off guard, but no one on the side of HYDRA is going to be taking the bait just yet. But this is a smart move from Nemiga. They knew that they needed to make something happen, though right now they will be under enemy vision, so if HYDRA sees an opportunity, they can definitely go for it.
Let's see if anybody reveals on the map. Still smoked up with 2 heroes. HYDRA on the other side. Blizzy is one piece towards his Lotus Orb, and I think they might have just seen each other's there for a second. Chosen One also running under direct vision of HYDRA. Still can't get to that mid-tier 1 tower. We've seen a lot of traffic in this mid lane, but not able to close in onto that tower. Nemiga just struggling to cross the river, and HYDRA's got some really good wave clear here with that Kunkka also just constantly pushing it away.
Yeah, but now it's becoming a bit dangerous for HYDRA, right? We're gonna go back to that BKB on Asgold. Yes, he didn't use any charges, but they're not playing aggressively, HYDRA. They're not increasing their lead, and they are stronger. At some point, you're gonna slip up, and when it comes to the later portions of the game, the Wraith King, he does out-carry the Faceless Void. He will be a very tough opponent to deal with, and now they are hunting him, but it's not an easy hero to hunt down, so Kiritych is gonna be okay, and I'm not liking that HYDRA aren't playing more aggressively. They took down the mid tower. They could definitely be more aggressive than this.
Meanwhile, Zayat's being caught, so HYDRA looking for a quick opener here on 1 kill. Meanwhile, also Vanscore falls next to the Roche Pit. That was a no lasso used. So they still have the ulti up on the Batrider and 20 seconds for Firefly. Meaning Nemiga still can't quite get to this mid-tier tower. They've been trying for quite some time, but Blizzy is not leaving. He's parked himself here.
Yeah, he is definitely having a much less stress-free game than he had in the previous one, where it was like RP, RP, RP. Now it's hit the creeps and just take some rum, use ghost chip and stuff like that. That's what the Kunkka does. So he's definitely gonna be fine in this one,
Man,
just getting
that
even
is-
some bonus boars.
That is kind of like such a Viking storyline, even though Kunkka is not Nordic, but you know, hitting some creeps, drinking some rum, living the life, man.
Yep. And
That sounds very relaxed to me, at least. However, no action rune here. They were already ready to scuffle for it. Askel picks up the arcane rune for himself in the bottle. Talking about
so
that.
HYDRA now they have a BKB on the Void as well. I think there's nothing to
Yeah,
wait
they go.
for any longer.
They're
Go,
gonna go.
and fight. Yeah.
Okay, so Vanscore's not a high priority target. That's something. Though, Chosen One... Hey, wait, who used the Yules there? Okay, so Rubik used his own Yules. Okay, so never mind about that. HYDRA was already moving towards the target. Felt like Blizzy might have caught someone with X mark. They're taking over the triangle. And a Radiant Scan right on the money.
I feel like kind of Vanscore was a good kill because he could open the Roche for you. If there's a reason for this Solar Crest, apart from grappling the Void in later stages of the game, you can go for the Roche, right? You have the Chen, you can definitely do it. So it's weird to me that they didn't go for it kill into Roche. Then you're gonna force Nemiga to fight you and you have two... you have two BKBs. Now they will walk into the Roche, but under Hawk Vision, and that Jakiro is actually really strong. He's really strong at fighting around the Roche pit, so this might be a tough one for HYDRA if they get caught off guard.
Here's the smoke. Roche is halfway. It's taking too long for HYDRA. They need to be prepared for it. Arrow has been used. Starstorm has been used by Muka. Heritage goes for the blink in onto the Mirana, taking him down to half HP. Dream looking for the Chrono. Has held connection onto 2 at least, but the stolen Chrono is lost from heaven. He's trying to try and interrupt HYDRA. He does throw one onto the back lines. They will also take a lot of damage. They've taken another Beastmaster. The BKB now popped, and also Red King has popped for the first time. Heritage pops his own, and he's on a run. He's just got too many targets to hit right now. He's going to focus onto the Batrider with the help of the Chosen One, getting some damage in as well with the Chakram. They're throwing into the air with the Yules. They've already taken down Muka in the backlines too, and Heaven also falls at the hands of Dream. The Chosen One going to give it a damage onto Zayat, but it looks like it's not going to be necessarily enough because Dream is hacking him down. We've also got a Roar connecting onto the Batrider. Aincrank getting some damage onto Askel. Askel still living through it, but they've lost the Wraith King, and 50 seconds gone for him. And the Chosen One, he's looking for a way out. There's nothing to escape to. And he will lose Heritage, and the Chosen One Vanscore still going back in, throwing in his spells, getting a bit of magical damage out there, but it's not going to be enough. Dream and an arrow connecting onto the Rubik too with the help of Blizzy, and that's going to be another casualty. And Vanscore looks to be yet again another kill for HYDRA, and they just overrun Nemiga. Nemiga, they have the manpower, they have the firepower, they have everything to take this Roche for themselves now.
It wouldn't surprise me if they call GG right now, because Nemiga just, they understood the importance of this Roche. They knew that this was the part of the game that they could maybe take it back. That's why they used 3 buybacks, and they still lose the fight quite convincingly without being able to kill anyone until those buyback people actually came back in. So HYDRA, they just showed how stronger they are at this point, and Nemiga, I actually don't know what that approach to the Roche pit was. They approached in a way that they get multiple mana Chronoed. They were just walking hand in hand, Vanscore and the Beastmaster there. That's something that you just cannot do. They were just running like, oh, Roche is low, you know, just not thinking about how do we approach this Roche. One goes from this side, one from the other. Let's not get multiple mana Chronoed, because then there's a boat follow-up, and if your Raid King is left alone, he just can't do the damage. He's gonna get kited to hell. Look at these heroes on the side of HYDRA. They have X, they have Jump from the Faces Void, Jump from the Mirana, and the Batrider. He's just so fast. The Chen will never be close enough. This is just a weird approach to the fight from Nemiga, who didn't respect the strength of HYDRA, and because of it, they got punished. As I said, it wouldn't surprise me they have called GG. They still think they have some chances in this one, but I have to say, T-Panda, they are very, very slim.
They are very far behind for sure. So many times I've seen the Faces Void go up against the Wraith King. The Void usually ends up winning that matchup the further the game goes. So in the current state of things, it does look like HYDRA is on the driver's seat. It's now up to them to lead the direction of this game. And for Nemiga, just kind of hope that this ride lasts for long enough and they can still catch him, stick in, and stay in the ride. Though, with the last events, you can see that graph is now further and further away for HYDRA. They're looking to push down this tier 2 tower in bottom. Age is still up for 3 minutes and 10 seconds, so HYDRA definitely want to use that for another team fight. They have all their ultis up. They have that Aegis for a second life. Things are looking pretty good for them. For Nemiga, well, I hate to say it, but that mid-tier 1 tower is still remaining.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna be going down anytime soon. Finally, they're gonna put their attention to the top lane. I don't know if you remember our game where we casted bait, where they couldn't take down the mid lane tower, and then finally, after some time, they went towards the top.
Yeah.
This is how you open up a map. You go to top, you force some rotations, then you have a really short line towards the mid lane. But the thing is, HYDRA, they understand this top lane tower, it's not worth it for us. Don't use any rotations. Save the mid lane one, because there it is. It is Kunka's retirement home. He likes to be there, and now HYDRA, they'll take over the enemy triangle. With that, that's how you will deal with the top lane, by cutting down the waves if you really feel like it is necessary.
Ascol, 1 versus 3. Can he hold his ground? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ascol will get 1 kill at least. Force and Nemiga's heroes on the run, both having the chosen one. First hit bash, of course you do. What a Chad.
I think that was like him being a nice guy, because you don't want to torture this poor guy. You want to kill him immediately. And now Timber saw. Look, this is a much worse death, right? Yep. Imagine being just constantly hit, and you're not dying, but you know you're gonna die. That Rubik, he doesn't even feel it. Just in a second he goes down. So Dream, he's a pretty nice guy, if you ask me.
Well, now we are up 11,000 gold for HYDRA, and things are getting harder. And as you said, with those couple kills, the map slowly opens up as well for HYDRA to start taking more of these tier 2 towers as they finish off the tower in the top lane and can start moving towards mid and top. Taking potentially one of those side lanes and go to the high ground, because there's still 1 minute remaining on that Aegis. And Dream is level 22 on this Faceless Void. He's very hard to kill.
HYDRA don't have to risk it. They could go for the high ground, but they don't have to risk it. I kind of feel like they might just go up, force the enemies back, then they will take the entirety of the map. We can already see that Ascol is on the bottom lane, maybe trying to catch someone who is trying to split push, because the only way for Nemiga to fight is split push on the bottom lane, HYDRA TP, and then you go for a chase. That's the way that you open up your triangle, and yep, they force the enemies back. HYDRA, they are gonna keep themselves safe there, and now finally maybe Kiritich can show himself on the bottom lane if he feels safe. But now we can see HYDRA just not showing that many heroes, making sure that whoever wants to go to the bottom lane is gonna be very, very afraid.
Turtle defense has now been applied inside Nemiga's base, building up walls, building up barricades, as they are trying to push the only lane they currently can touch on, and that's the bot lane. Keeping the creeps out, giving some farm for the Wraith King. He's got a big item on his mind, that is the Bloodthorn. Looks like maybe even some, I'm not sure if the Hyperstone is actually indicated towards AC, but it does look like he wants to make that Orchid first. Very interesting build.
You need the Hyperstone now for the Bloodthorn. It has been changed, so it's Orchid, right. Hyperstone, and Recipe. So that's
I was thinking AC could have also been an option, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I think the AC is okay, but Nemiga, look at the smoke. The smoke is to take over the map. You can't take over your triangle, so you need to take over the bottom part of the map first. Once you do that, then maybe you can force HYDRA to come there and then go into your triangle, because without the triangle you're losing 2 of the lanes, and on the bottom lane with the tier 1 being up, you have no play around the map. But the thing is, all of these things, they are very easily read, right? At this point in the game, you can always easily read your opponent's. Dota has evolved to that part, and now immediately they go for a smoke, because they know the timing of the enemy smoke is done, and they will be in a place where they're easily caught, and that's gonna be the bottom part of the map. They already killed the Jakiro, and let's see if they can get anyone else.
Well, Heaven is one target for sure, that if they can just close in the gaps, and they see exactly where he is. The arrow misses though, and kills a boar of Einkrantz. He literally just got that wolf out, or that boar out. Gets hit by an arrow, and that's already out. Now getting to push. That Aegis is out. Roshan is up in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Ascol pushing out that bot lane once again. They're a bit spread on HYDRA's side. But as said, they don't have to force anything on the high ground. They can take their sweet time, wait for the next Roshan, and start looking for options. Sayat is under a hawk. Nemiga looked like for a second they wanted to jump on that Chen, but as soon as they realized that Hydra's already regrouping. That's probably not the call to go for, so they're just going to sack this tier 2 tower. Let Hydra finish off the final outer tower. And now truly, there must be one big red button that somebody's pressed that this time we're not leaving the base anymore.
Yeah, again, now both of the teams, Nemiga, they know what they have to do, but it's just so easily read. So one guy will split push to the bottom lane. He will try to dodge the gank, which will be unsuccessful now because Chosen One will most likely die, right? He sets himself up for an arrow, not gonna be happening though. And while they are hunting that guy, they need to get out to the base. But the problem is they get out to the base, they're just so much weaker, and Hydra, they know about everything. Yeah.
2 quick pickoffs, and that should open up the map now for Hydra completely, and even a high ground. But still, taking their sweet time, Rubik manages to steal the time walk just before.
I may be faceless.
Got a little bit of a pause, and this time we have some lags going in Nemiga's side. Unfortunate, though. Doesn't look like it's still going to have any impact or any change to the story of this game, because I don't think Hydra can lose this anymore. That's a bold statement, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I feel like Hydra is in such a good position.
Yeah, in my mind, the Nemiga here, given that all of their moves that are going to be outmaneuvering the enemies are very easily read, right? This is 1-2 Dota. There is not much about it. They're in this part of the map. We can go here, but if they go there, we will respond with this one. And it's very easy to know what you do at this point. So I think that Nemiga now, they have one last thing left in their tank. It's take a fight, right? Take a fight, go for the Faceless Void, and try to kill him from 100 to 0 immediately. He doesn't have that much status resistance, considering he only is sporting a Titan Sliver, so you might be able to do it. It's very unlikely, but that's your best bet. The longer you wait, the harder it will become, because there's going to be more defensive items, there's going to be more items on the Faceless Void, he'll have more levels as well. Once he gets the backtrack, it becomes impossible. So you do have that 0.1% chance to win right now, or to win a fight, maybe not the game, but at least a fight. It's a start, and I think you should take it as fast as possible, waiting in your base and hoping that the enemies will make a mistake. Not gonna happen. And this time around, you do not have a Magnus RP, you do not have a big team fight spell. The only thing you can do is just go for pickoffs, and as time progresses, it's gonna be harder and harder. So Nemiga, just to put on your big boy pants, use a smoke, and try for a one last hurrah in this game too.
Yep. I do love the rays of sunshine that Nemiga is drawing from his base towards the side of Nemiga. They also give the go sign. So let's see, with 2 heroes dead, they could force the buyback off of the Timber Saw by forcing high ground. But also, Roshan minimum at 20 seconds. They could still just leave it open. Consider, as they are doing, they're not going to the high ground. Leave Nemiga afraid. The same thing that they did to Hydra in game number 1. Starved them out, choked them out, and finally ended with that guillotine to the neck.
Maybe Nemiga right now are like, are we gonna call GG? No. They were making us work for it, and they will work for this win as well. But we probably can't win. Who cares? Just maybe we have more stamina than them, and if they might get tired. But I think stamina is not gonna be a problem for these guys, though, given that most of them do play more than 7-8 games a day of Dota. And yep, competitive games, they can be a bit more taxing, but these guys should have enough energy to finish an entire series, even if it's a long one. So Drosh will be up in 2.5 minutes, and
it's gonna be up
that's
soon.
where Nemiga has to fight. If they don't go and fight that, they can just stay in their base, but they will lose a fight no matter what they do. They get a 5-man ice path. They I don't know, these guys just all clumped up together, they decide not to use the chrono, and you will still lose the fight, right? So you have to fight. So it's Nemiga right now, just trying to find maybe one more item, and then just go for a play. There's nothing more to wait for.
At least one thing that I want to highlight here, I was thinking about a knock-knock joke, but I was like, man, we're not going to go do that. Anyway, I knock on the door, you open the door, and I'm going to tell you, hello there, good sir. Do you have a moment to talk about this Paladin Sword Chen?
Oh,
really like the healing amplify that he brings. He amps up his Hand of God, amps up his Holy Locket. Not bad.
And the mech as well, so
and the mech.
that's quite nice. Considering that the Faceless Void has the Titan Sliver, and you could argue is the best one for this game, so he doesn't really need it. So why not give it to the Chen? He doesn't really use the 16 lifesteal or 20 damage that much, but the regen, the extra regen is definitely gonna come in handy. So now you effectively have to kill a Void with 4,000 HP, maybe even more. And the Nemiga, I'm looking at their heroes and I'm thinking, where do you find that kind of damage, especially if the Faceless Void is drenched in rum?
A bit of a play from Nemiga, attempted to smoke out of their base to score at least 10 yards of area, and Rubik wants to go for a jump left play, but the BKB comes out from Dream anyway. And look at that, the Chrono will connect onto Aincrad, both onto the Wraith King, and this Beastmaster is done for. And he'll have to buy back instantly. Kirtich trying to stand his ground, but he's going to have to save his BKB for life number 2, and he's not even doing any damage. He's barely even tickling this Kunkka, and here comes the Rum. The Rum has arrived, and they have all that they need right now. Nemiga backing back to the high ground with their BKBs off the Faceless Void, taking a bit of damage here. He does have Satanica, might actually even lose his life, but the heal does come out from the Chen with the Hand of God, and Wraith King pushed to the low ground. Kirtich taken out. Godlike spree for Dream. The Chosen One also being forced back to the low ground through the X mark.
It's clean
That's
up time.
another fallen hero, and the Chosen One. One last huzzah. But it's really not going to happen now.
HYDRA go back. HYDRA go back, and they are gonna be okay.
GG.
They just want to show Nemiga how you play a clean game. They get themselves out. This is something that reminds me of Chinese teams who are very calm, cool, and collected. Very calm. But HYDRA really showing here that they don't want to dive. They want to get this as clean as possible. Nemiga in the last one, when they had a big lead, they just sometimes dove like madman, even if they didn't have to. But this one, just HYDRA taking it easy. They even go back, and Nemiga finally, they raise the white flag, only getting 6 kills in 36 minutes. It goes to show just how stomped they actually got.
Exactly. Yeah. The graph is very unanimous here. HYDRA was definitely in control of this one, just like Nemiga did in game number 1. Only 6 kills for them in this game, or was it 12 or 11 or something like that in the first game between these two. So definitely both of them now showing their strengths with slightly different drafts, slightly differently played, and a whole different outcome. So what kind of difference makers are we going to see in the third map between these two teams? Because now it feels like it's up for anybody's to take, to be honest. Like, we've seen 2 very semi-stumpy performances from both teams.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this Rubik pick, the one that we didn't like so much, it was the main thing that didn't allow Nemiga to pop off. As soon as he stole the arrow, you saw those moves, but you know, when you're relying to steal a single spell, there's not another one that you can steal on the side of HYDRA that's gonna give you a kill, and then your position for it just standing there doing nothing. At some point, HYDRA will find an opening. It's gonna be an X into an arrow. It's gonna be this Batrider popping off. I expected them to focus more on the Batrider, but they just didn't have the tools because of this Rubik, and I think that Nemiga, the only thing they have to change is get their position for a hero with which he can do something, or at least, even if you're getting a Rubik, then get an offlaner that is actually going to be benefiting from it, and not just the Rubik leaving the lane and allowing the Timbersaw to do Timbersaw things. So I think that's the only adjustment that we're going to be seeing on Nemiga and HYDRA. They want this one. They like their trend, and we might actually see it in Game 3 as well.
Well, you heard it from the future DPC / maybe TI analyst, Harry Freak. My name is also T-Panda. We'll take a tiny break, and we shall be back with map number 3. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the series, because we surely have.